Okay, welcome to today's workshop, Wealth by Design Part 2. So if you haven't caught the first workshop, you can access that replay in the Wealth Embodiment School library. But I think everyone here has seen the first one. So we will get started. So let's just take a minute to settle in. When we are studying the topic of human design, it is really information heavy. And we have a blend of where you are at. If you are brand new to human design, if you've been studying the rabbit hole for a while, then some of this feels like things you already know. So wherever you're at, just coming in, taking some deep breaths and practicing noticing how it feels in your body, what resonates for you. Human design is really a lot about self-trust and coming back to your inner authority and noticing what resonates and listening to your body. So we'll take a couple nice big deep breaths, allowing all of us to be here, all of who we are, to come into this space, inviting you to be present, to be 100% here. All right. So if you're watching the replay and we've never met, I'm Michelle Joy. I love teaching wealth embodiment with human design, with somatic movement and healing. I find these techniques to be so powerful in really helping you to discover and accept yourself, your highest potential, and be able to align to your highest path and potential so you can live in your purpose and really feel fulfilled and abundant in all areas of life and create a successful business that is an expression of your soul. So that is what we are working with today, with understanding these deeper aspects of the human design chart. So don't feel rushed to understand all of this information and apply it immediately. Sometimes it's really good to just learn some of these concepts and sit with them and then practice one thing at a time. Try it on for size, work with it, and see how it shifts things for you. So we will be talking about your natural strengths and gifts in your human design, and also how to heal potential areas of wounding or comparison, to accept different parts of ourselves and let go of things and be able to embrace our natural energy so that as we create money, it is more easy, more joyful. And who doesn't want that, right? Okay, so have your human design chart handy. If you don't have it yet, you can go get it on my website. All right. So today we're talking more about how the different aura types work together. If you imagine that we are here on this beautiful planet and we all have such different strengths, different roles we play in life, that we work together to create harmony in life. We exchange gifts, ideally exchanging value, exchanging money. We are exchanging our gifts and being paid well for our energy, being paid well for our gifts, and having this wealth consciousness, this abundance everywhere, right? And so that is one of the beautiful aspects of each individual learning their human design. And this movement is growing and growing because everyone gets back their own innate understanding of their power and their gifts, and then can lean into them, share them unapologetically, and we can exchange with each other and collaborate together. So for manifestors are the innovators, here to be change makers, to initiate and bring new ideas into the world. And so as an entrepreneur, as a manifester, this could really look like trusting your own instincts, maybe starting a brand new market that you haven't seen be done before, and really giving yourself permission to fully trust yourself and to create these new things. I once saw a manifester. It was like a call, a co-creation call, and he was getting coaching and expressing his frustration that he wasn't feeling recognized for what he wanted to create in a business. And this is an example of how, as a manifester, you take the action, you go on those instincts, and then the success will come. Then the manifestations will flow. And if a manifester is looking outside for others to tell them, yeah, that's a really good idea, when they don't see the concept that the vision the manifester has, then they would be stuck in this frustration, this inaction cycle. So that is one potential, if you are a manifester, to lean into exploring what new ideas or projects am I passionate about starting? How can I take action aligned with my soul? And if you're not a manifester, it's also important, helpful to learn some of these things for your relationships. If you are a coach and you work with clients, it's really helpful to know these things about them, or your spouse or your children, even just having some of these basics of how they are best meant to make decisions. You can be really supportive in helping them feel validated and helping them unfold their potential. All right, the next type is generators. So generators are here to build, to create, to have this sustainability in their business. And so what works really well for generator entrepreneurs, generators in business, is working with this consistent action. This maybe it's consistent content creation, having a plan for how you're going to create content, or if you like to create products, leaning into this ability to be consistent in what you're building. Also, with having the ability to respond to what questions you have, how you can help serve your customers best. I know generators often love to be asked questions so they can then provide solutions for their customers. Working with this energy helps a generator be successful in business and be lit up about their business and what they're creating. So if a generator often feels burnout, I know sometimes generators share, I know I'm supposed to have all this energy to create, and I don't. I actually also feel burnt out and feel low energy. Then this can be a sign that somewhere along the way, you didn't trust your gut, or you started people pleasing, and maybe there's a signpost of how can I return back to doing work that I love, or bringing more of my passions and what brings me joy into my work, into my life. So I start to get more of that energy, that spark again. And this can, start to translate into all areas of life. All right. Another question, journaling. What am I excited to create and build that helps others? So manifesting generators, if you are a manifesting generator or you are working with a manifesting generator, they have this ability to have some of both of these energies, to have consistent action, to build things, to have new ideas, to create, and also to take action on them. And so they, if you are a manifesting generator, it oftentimes works great for being an entrepreneur because you'll have multiple ideas that you want to test out. And as an entrepreneur, it's good to keep trying things, to have this flow of new ideas and adaptability, right, for figuring things out as they go, letting them evolve. Also, manifesting generators often have more energy to take action and be quick. And so this we can all the types can learn from of as you take action in business. If things don't work out, learn the lesson and move on, try something new or just tweak it till you find what works. So sometimes manifesting generators feel that they have too many things going on. And so the balance for this is making sure you're checking in with yourself on how can you align with your overall vision and goals as a manifesting generator. It's okay to have multiple pots on the stove, and also balancing how they can fit together into your plan and what you love to take action on. All right, so next we're going to go into projectors. Projectors are here to guide and direct the energy of others. Projectors, because of their penetrating aura, sees what others are needing and is able to offer this valuable guidance and insights, to have this big picture vision. Also for the collective, can see in groups what kind of things could be tweaked to be more efficient, more energy efficient, problem solving. So a good job or way to make money as a projector is often being a coach, a consultant, a strategist, and sharing what solutions you see as a projector. Oftentimes projectors in business or as entrepreneurs want to feel this need to get generators and other types to understand why they see what they see or how they are seeing it. And this can be draining for the projector to be misunderstood how they see what they see, when instead it's more energy efficient for the projector to share what they see and share their unique perspective without having to explain the process necessarily, just what the problem is that you can see and you can solve for others. Sharing that in your marketing, sharing that in your expertise as a projector. So some food for thought for projectors is in making money with their gifts are who are the people or groups that I feel called to guide and support? What topics do I like to learn and provide my unique insights and perspectives on so that I can help others? All right, next we have the reflectors, which are quite rare, and they are here. They have completely all open centers, no center definition, no colored in definition in your chart. So they are here to be the mirrors for society, to reflect the environment, what things need to be improved and healed, so they can oftentimes be excellent healers, advisors, writers. And something a reflector, if you know a reflector, can share is noticing how they feel about their environment and community and what insights they can share and provide value in. Something to note if you are not a reflector, but this can apply to, is if any areas that you have more open centers, you are more open, more sensitive to your environment, more receiving input in the more white centers that you have in your human design. Okay, so like I said, as we understand that everyone has these natural gifts and these unique soul roles, the more we can work together. And in your finances, in your business, a good question to use with this understanding is, how can I collaborate and work together with other aura types in my business so that you can put your energy into what your consistent strengths are and hire or collaborate with others on the areas that you need more support with. So that could look like, if you're a projector, hiring generator help for certain tasks in your business that are harder to be consistent on. If you are a manifester, yeah, that also could apply, as well as needing that support. If you are a projector, you may have a blind spot on for your own business, your own direction, and want to hire another projector to help you see that big picture vision, or a generator to hire a projector. You can see how we can all hire each other out for many different tasks. And again, some of this is somewhat putting you into a box so that you can understand some of these basic aspects of human design, but we all have different parts that will resonate with us in each area. Okay, so I want to see if I can see the chat, if anyone's sharing anything in the chat so far. Let's see. Go ahead and share if you share your type, if any of that has resonated so far for you and your type, what your type is. And then we will start to go into some other aspects. Okay, you're a generator. Awesome. Do you resonate with needing to feel passionate and lit up about the work you do, or it just is more draining? Yes, you're nodding your head. Okay, awesome. Okay, all right. Projector definitely resonates. Yes. Okay, amazing. And does anybody have some ways that you've started to think of how you can collaborate with other types and share your gifts? So we'll go next into the energy centers, but some of this can be, once you own the gifts of your energy centers, sharing, I'm really great at ideas, and in my business, I could use help with taking action on them, getting them started, someone who has a defined root or a defined sacral. Those type of teamwork things can be really helpful. So we'll go into that next. Okay, so is everyone familiar with their what energy centers you do have defined? That's what we will talk about next. So the areas that you have defined, the colored in areas in your chart, are your natural strengths, your natural consistent energy. And so as you own and embody those can be really helpful for in your business, for sharing, these are things I'm naturally good at, ways that you are naturally magnetic to others. You're putting out this energy. It's natural. And the areas where you are more white, we'll be talking about, these are the areas where you experience perhaps some wounding, absorbing others, and then go on a journey of healing them and becoming wise about them. So we will get started with going into these different placements. So these can show you insights into your niche. I don't know about you, but when I first started business, it's a lot of, okay, what's your niche? Pick your niche. And it can be quite overwhelming to just have all these ideas and ways that you can help people and want to help so many people and be told, pick a niche. That type of thing can be overwhelming, but there's actually some signs, some ways of working with your human design centers for getting clear on your niche. So your defined centers or your colored in centers, and that is what we will be talking about. And feel free to share in the comments as I go through these if the centers resonate with you. So if you have a defined head center, the top, it's also the head or the crown, then you have this ability, this natural ability that your niche could be, your natural strength, your natural niche could be inspiration, the ability to consistently receive creative ideas and to inspire others with these downloads you receive, and also to share what you understand of concepts, this teacher type of energy. Maybe you really love learning and then sharing this knowledge, having workshops. Also, it's an ability to have clarity. If you are a coach and you like working with others and supporting others, then you can help others get clear doing coaching in this way of working on their mindset and also working with mindfulness practices. And in the last workshop, I talked a bit about the channels. So you can pair these together with your channels and what the circuitry type is for exploring some of your natural gifts. So example, I have a defined head. I have this channel 6447, and then the defined ajna. And so this is an example of me using this as I've loved learning all about human design and these different topics, and then bringing them into a workshop, teaching them, sharing what I've found insights on and clarity on. And it is a collective channel. So sharing this to a group, sharing this, putting this on YouTube or sharing it in a book, that type of teaching the information would be sharing with the collective circuitry. Okay, so now the Ajna Center. The Ajna Center is the way that we process the mental information and our viewpoint and share our ideas and opinions. So if you have a colored in Ajna, you're going to have this consistency, this steadiness in sharing your opinions and having a certain point of view and feeling more secure in this area. And a gift of this could be for a niche that you like doing mindset coaching. You like working with others and helping them to see what their thought patterns are and how they could be improved. That type of an energy could be supportive of this. So as I go through the ideas, you can just kind of, again, tune into your body and see if anything lights you up or gives you this reassurance or excitement that just you're looking for. Okay. Next, we'll go into the throat center. So the throat center, if you have this defined, you may naturally have a niche for communication. If you are passionate about helping others learn how to communicate, how to do public speaking, practicing your gift of public speaking, self-expression. I think this could be a really fun one with vocal coaching, personal branding as well, because this is an expression of who you are to be shared, to be manifested out into the world. They say the throat is the manifestation center because everything, all the energy of the energy centers comes up to the throat to be expressed, to be manifested. So if we have blocks, if we have wounds, if we have repressions, then they will kind of filter down, filter out our expression, or second guess our expression. So this is where the center of manifestation happens. And in manifestation, just even speaking out your desires can be so powerful for getting the ball rolling in your manifestations. Okay. So next is the G center. And if you have a defined G center, you could have a niche of helping others with their sense of identity, their sense of life purpose. You may be somebody who people are naturally drawn to help them have answers about where they're going, what's good for them, what they should do. This could look like somebody who helps people with career transitions or developing their identity and sense of self. It also is related to love and relationships and cultivating self-love. So this could be someone who is able to provide, to teach self-love and naturally exuding that energy. You could be magnetic for others to want to learn this from you. Okay, next is the ego or heart center. And this center is all about willpower and motivation and self-worth. So if you have this defined, you may potentially love a niche of teaching self-esteem, self-worth, and confidence. Also, money and influence has to do with the ego heart center. It's about resources, money, and so any of these topics fit well with this niche. What's different with the identity center being about love and the willpower center being about self-worth is because it has that resource and value type of exchange of energy. So this could be a really powerful niche. This is also one of my most defined centers. And so I really, love sharing about self-value and improving your relationship with money. It's something that I'm really passionate about and love to share. So just some food for thought with that. Next idea of niches. Oh, skipped. Okay. So next we're going into the spleen. So if you have a defined spleen, a colored in spleen, then your niche could be helping people be empowered to overcome fears. It also is related to the health of the body. So a health coach, being passionate about the health of the physical body, or the spleen has to do with the survival center. So the health and natural intuition and instincts. So I also have a defined spleen, and I love teaching the in the somatic dance healing classes, the spleen series, because we are working on overcoming the low expression of the primal fears that keep you stuck in taking action in life, in your business. This could be really powerful for building a business, to overcome the fears of the spleen, the fear of failure, the fear of the past, those type of things. So if you have a defined spleen, you also, can work through these things. But in the high expression, having a defined spleen, you could be a natural fit for this niche. Also, it relates to intuition. If you are someone who really loves learning about intuition, developing your intuition, you could be a teacher of how you use your intuition. If you have splenic authority, noticing how you receive intuitive insights and teaching that to others could be a niche. Okay, so the solar plexus, if you have a defined solar plexus, then you are an emotional authority. And so the energy that's magnetic, natural, a niche you could choose is emotional intelligence, how you work with your emotions and ride your emotional wave, practicing the divine timing of decision making, of allowing your emotions to ebb and flow, and to have a beautiful relationship and patience with your emotions. you could teach others how to do this skill. And also, being centered in your body, practicing mindfulness, meditation, and learning to ground yourself. All of those are important skills that you could teach and use as a niche if that lights you up as someone with a defined solar plexus. And then the sacral. So this is for generators and manifesting generators. If you have a defined sacral, you could lean into the niche of sensuality and sexuality and creativity, what you're passionate about personally, what excites you. This is something that's aligned with the sacral for helping others to be passionate and follow what lights them up. I know that generators as coaches really help others to get that spark, get that passion again going in their life. So that is something to think about, and if that resonates, give yourself permission to embody as one of your natural strengths to share in your business, in your marketing, etc. Okay, and then the root center. So the bottom center, the root center, is about initiating, taking action. If you have this defined, you may be naturally skilled at wanting to create action-oriented coaching and productivity workshops. You may be good at time management and be able to have the skill to teach others. It's also related to the adrenal glands and stress management. And so if this is something you're passionate about and you love helping people with, as someone with a defined root, this could be really supportive and helpful for others in their businesses, in their lives, creating routines, creating habits, etc. Okay, so that was kind of a lot, but feel free to comment if some of that gave you some food for thought, if some of that resonates. And take a moment, slowing myself down as well to take a breath. Sometimes when we learn about these strengths, if they resonate a lot, it can be so just satisfying, and give yourself permission to, I knew that was a strength of mine, and just feel really excited about it. And sometimes if you have mixed feelings or they don't feel true, it's an opportunity to practice, just get curious about how you're feeling about if some of those don't resonate and aren't a strength. You can think back to, well, were they a strength when I was younger, when I was a child? Do others see these gifts in me? Do they sometimes help or ask for help in these areas? And something to think about as well is, and I can't remember if I talked about this in the last workshop or not, but sometimes the areas where you're defined, we received messages as a child or whenever in life of, oh, it's too much. So if you have a defined throat, maybe we're told in school, oh, you talk too much. If you have a defined head, oh, you think too much. Or if you were really full of energy and very energetic child, oh, you do too much. Those types of subliminal messages can add up and have someone to start to repress their definition, feel like, oh, well, maybe I need to play this down a little bit to fit in. And so these type of situations are common and inevitable, but we, having this awareness now and learning our human design, can take the time to notice if there's any subconscious withholding of ourselves from these experiences, and just accept and feel and allow them and start to heal them. And this is what we call with the deconditioning. So if any of that resonates, I have defined head, ajna, throat, and G center relate to all of those niches. Amazing. Yes. So that's what's so fun is you can play with these and then play with your inner authority. Which one lights me up the most? Or do I want to incorporate all of them? And you can combine them and make your own unique way of how you share these things, or you can choose which one you're most excited about. You can really experiment with that and be creative. Okay. So now we're going to talk about the white centers. So the white centers are where you absorb more input and where you potentially have even more healing and deconditioning to do. The story of the defined centers being too much if you received that message. On the other side, in the white centers, if there became a story of not enough, then those would be some of the wounds and limiting beliefs created from the white centers, and possibly comparing to how others do things, or just receiving messages in society that you should do it this way, or this is the formula to success, and feeling like, okay, then I need to force myself to do it that way, to be like this person. So healing and deconditioning our open centers is learning how to release what's not ours, and then practice the cleanliness of the clearing out this energy and space to notice what's not ours and allow things to flow through us without attaching to them as our own stories. Okay, so there is a hierarchy of healing and deconditioning the open centers for sabotage patterns. So this is also an amazing thing about human design, and having essentially a healing recipe is looking at what's going to give me the most transformation of healing and deconditioning, what's going to be the most powerful. Because I know a lot of us who have been doing a healing journey for a while, quite often it feels like, oh, I thought I was there, and then there's more, and it's layers, and it takes patience to be in a healing journey, right? There's times when you feel like, am I going backwards? And you're not. You're always, as you're learning things about yourself and you're healing, you're always moving forward, and it's all perfectly unfolding. But having this awareness of the hierarchy can also speed up the process quite a bit as far as getting into alignment, getting into success, making money, taking action in your business, those type of things. So first and foremost, an important area to heal and decondition is the ego center, the heart center. What we talked about with the willpower, self-value, those type of things are incredibly important for business, for wealth, for being, cultivating self-worth. And so working on this center, essentially, if you're in the shadow or not self aspect of having an open ego center, a white ego center, this would look like feeling pressure. Oh, no, this is the head center. That's okay. I'll go to the next one. It would look like struggling with low self-worth in your life and feeling like you have to prove yourself to others. If as an open ego center, you felt the pressure to compare yourself to someone who does have this natural self-value and self-worth and confidence and going after their goals. And this could create a wound for an open ego center of not feeling valuable, not feeling worthy, creating stories that they have to fix themselves, have to prove themselves. And so the beautiful thing about all of this is all of these can be healed and come into in Gene Keys out of the shadow and into the gift. And so the gift of this is the potential to be to have mastery in this area of your life. How you have experienced a life of healing your self-worth, building your confidence, and then have the gift of the wisdom of I am innately worthy, I am innately valuable, and being able to share this mastery with others, right? So this could be if you've picked your niche in, one of your defined centers, and then you have an unfolding of a skill you've learned in one of your white centers. This could be something that you share with others of how you got good at this. This is your story. This is what you've cultivated, what you've become wise in. So that's how there's no right or wrong with, having a colored or a white center in this area. It's just this beautiful art of your unique journey of healing and wisdom. So that is really beautiful about the ego center. And then the next in the hierarchy, the next thing to heal, and again, if you have these defined, a lot of this also will still need healing and giving yourself permission to be yourself in these areas. So if you have a defined soul or an undefined solar plexus, this is the emotional center. This is, I have this all white. So if it's all white, it means you're totally open. There's no gate activations. And it's like a sponge that has the potential to be more like a window. So if you have a white solar plexus, this triangle on the right, then in the shadow, in the not self, it is a tendency to avoid confrontation, avoid truth, avoid others' feelings coming into your space, because if you've had this life where you were absorbing others' emotions and them being very impactful to you, you could start to want to avoid that by create the not self-creating people-pleasing patterns, fear of intimacy or fear of vulnerability, sharing emotions, because those things were creating these wounds or fears early in your life. So the ability to heal your emotional skills, heal your ability to feel your emotions would be helpful for this, to learning mastery to understand and manage emotions and be empathetic of others' emotions. So this is my journey with it, is I having the totally open solar plexus. It was just like I felt like I was always bombarded with emotions, other people's emotions. It didn't feel like something that I was in control of in my life. And then when I learned this in human design, so about 5 years ago, that I had the potential to be wise in this area, it initially was very surprising to me. And then I had the awareness to start becoming aware of my emotions, to start unfreezing, unthawing my emotional intelligence that I had kind of been avoiding, and start tuning into. So I started doing the meditation and becoming more aware of my body and becoming aware of what emotions feel like, and retraining those things. And then in the somatic work as well. And so working with those energies for a few years, I now can be very sensitive to what emotion I'm experiencing in a room, what it what song creates an emotion, what, those sensitivities then become something I've mastered. And so that is where you can use what you've mastered as one of your life journey tools in your business of how you've overcome a struggle, how you've mastered an area, and be able to share that in your story and share that as a tool. Okay. I'm going to check the chat. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Same. Yes, that's amazing. So, Kristen, you have very similar, you're a somatic embodiment coach with the all white solar plexus. Amazing. I love it. Okay. So cool. So next we'll go into the G center, the square in the middle. If you have a open G center, the potential not self wounds could be trying to control things in life to help you feel safe, because this is about identity and also environment. And so it could feel like this need to, if I can just control things and fix things, then I will feel better. I will feel like things are going in the right direction for me. And since it also has to deal with love and relationships, in the low expression, it could be forcing these areas. And the healing of this would be mastery of how you learn to understand who you are and what makes you you, and putting yourself in healthy environments and noticing how you thrive in the right relationships and the right places for cultivating your self-love and people reflecting to you, appreciating you. Then you've mastered this outcome and can share your story with others. Okay. And the spleen, if you have a white spleen, quite often the not self wounds of this can literally be related to health. Someone may go through a health journey and become wise about how to holistically heal. It could be someone who is a medical intuitive, developed a journey for healing the body and trusting their intuition for healing methods after going through their own struggles. This could be a potential area with the spleen. Someone who learned how to go from frozen in fear in the not self, the open spleen, feeling really afraid of the unknown, afraid of taking action, and also relating to judging yourself or judging others in order to feel safe. So healing this is overcoming those fears and noticing what the process is you did for healing your fears and overcoming them, taking action anyways, improving your health, developing your intuition, all of those types of topics. Okay, now we're going back to the head center. And let's see, it's about 50 minutes. If you need to go at any time, it's okay. I'll share the recording. We'll probably be at least 10 more minutes, if not a little more. Okay, so the head center. So when you have an open head center, the head and the root, they're both pressure centers coming from above and below. So this can feel like pressure for someone with an open head center, pressure to have answers to, it can create anxiety to figure things out, to have to know, have to have ideas, have to be clear on your perspective. And so mastery of this, meditation and also embodiment work really can help if you have an open or closed head. specifically for an open head, because you are picking up others' thoughts, others' worries, and possibly attaching to them as your own, feeling this pressure to solve everyone's problems for them, to know everything. And so embodiment work, mindfulness, could really give yourself not pressure, permission to let go of worries, not drown yourself in things that are a waste of your energy. So mastery of this would be also gaining inspiration by trusting in divine timing and just trusting that the right downloads come in at the right time, and you don't have to force them. You don't have to try to pressure them into fruition. And as well, similarly to the not self, this is feeling like you have to be certain about your opinion and your ideas and figure them out and share them. And this is a really beautiful mastery of being able to hold space for multiple perspectives and be open-minded to see how society could hold space for each other's opinions. It could be you gained this skill and are able to help in relationship coaching, helping couples to each share their perspective and allow them to think for themselves and speak for themselves, as a really beautiful energy of this. Okay, so a couple more. Next in the hierarchy is the root center. So with an open root in the not self, this can be pressure to rush through life, to rush through your work, feeling like on to the next. I got to get it done. Just wanting to release this pressure to feel like you're able finally to relax. And so in a not self cycle, this could be like there's never enough time, and not really being present of when things are aligned for you to take action on. When is a good workflow for you in your business? Trusting that things are unfolding, being patient, and also taking action so that you keep moving forward, having this balance in the root center of getting things done and also listening to when it's the right time to get started on something. So mastery in this would be how you learned how to have stress management skills, how you learned how to create timeline management skills, and that it wasn't naturally a easy task for you, but how did you implement strategies in your life to do that and to not take on the stress of others and have them force you to take action when it wasn't aligned for you. Okay, and then this is similar to with the sacral center of not, if you have a white sacral center, you may feel like you don't know when is enough, and then work, trying to keep up, trying to compete, trying to do what you think you should to be successful in business, and then experiencing burnout. So I know this is very common for projectors, feeling like, well, we've been taught this is how you do business. It has to be super actionable and consistent and should do all these various different things, and then hitting burnout and it taking you a while to recover from it, versus a mastery of the undefined sacral is, okay, how do I work with my natural energy levels? What are my natural rhythms in my day? How can I put my energy into my natural strengths, like we talked about at the beginning? And how can I hire out or yet help in the areas that I'm not as sustainable energetically with the tasks or with those day-to-day things that are harder for me to keep up with if it has to do with actual physical energy. And there is some variance with that. There are projectors who have multiple energy motors, projectors who have all white, and that type of thing are going to be more sensitive to this type of energy that I'm talking about. Okay. So that is all we'll be sharing for the centers. I know that was a lot, but hopefully that's some good food for thought for you to think and reflect on. You can journal, which of these resonate for areas where I want to start to do some deconditioning, some healing, anywhere where I'm noticing myself compared to others, when I could really just lean into my strengths and share more about my strengths and my expertise, and really get clarity on my niche and who I love to help, what problem I like to solve from what I've learned in my life and what I'm naturally good at. So we'll just go into a couple more, as I love learning the rabbit holes. I love learning the shadow work. What's the most potent areas of shadow work to make the biggest impact for skyrocketing success, right? If we have wounds and we have limiting beliefs and we have shadows, which ones are going to be the most bang for our buck to accept about ourselves? Because when we accept, that frees up energy in of itself. And as we heal about ourselves, we have even more freedom, right? Okay. So this is a really powerful placement. It is your unconscious Mars. So you can get into every single sign in human design and how it gets into your gate, and then the line, and look into the gene keys of where you are at, if you are in the shadow of the gate or if you are more in the gift or the city of the gate, kind of depending on your life lessons, right? And where you're at in your journey. But one super powerful place I found is your unconscious Mars. So this is the sign for Mars. And it can reveal one of your deepest core wounds, a generational wound. It's super interesting that this actually relates with when you were in gestation in the womb. And if you look at your unconscious Mars in the gene key shadow and see if it resonates, and healing that into the gift can really provide a huge aha moment, because the unconscious side is exactly that. It's unconscious. And so I found this for me and for many people. I've seen how it can be like a big blind spot that you can focus on for healing and rapidly increase your ability to manifest, your ability to take action in your business once you have seen this and cleared this. So Mars relates to the masculine action taking day to day. And so when you heal this, it really can help you to have permission to take action and be the fuel, the energy to push your business forward. So you can look into that as well on your conscious Mars of having fuel for your business. All right. So that's, I know, just a little bit of a nugget for you to go explore deep into, or if we do a reading together or coaching, then I can specifically dive into yours, specifically how that would play out and what steps you could take. But it's super powerful to look into and see if it resonates. For me, this was a huge subconscious block that when I realized it unlocked a ton. Another potential area for healing your money blocks is your Chiron. So tell me if you in the comments have heard of Chiron before. Chiron is something that you have to get more of an extended human design chart. It won't be on your basic one, or you can get a free astrology chart online that will also tell you. And Chiron is a placement of the wounded healer and tells you a lot about your task to heal so you can overcome challenges and fulfill your destiny. It sounds easy, right? It's just overcome this little challenge, fulfill your destiny. That's what Chiron is. And when I looked into it, I also was super surprised how much light bulbs went off, how much I understood just from looking into my Chiron and healing these patterns. Yes. Okay. Amazing. So for me, my Chiron is in Gemini. And so for me, that is healing the wound of Gemini is about communication and expression. So by leaning into speaking, by leaning into communication, that is healing my Chiron and being able to put myself out there to grow, etc., etc. So you can look up your exact gate or your astrology sign of it and take away those keynotes of it. All right, just a couple more. Actually, I think this might be the last one. This is Black Moon Lilith. Have you heard of Black Moon Lilith? This is one that just came into my awareness pretty recently within the last year. So Black Moon Lilith symbolizes the darker aspects of the feminine and like our deepest desires. And so sometimes your Black Moon Lilith will be this repressed energy that you are kind of afraid to share about yourself. Possibly a part of you is judging this placement, judging this sign, judging this part of you that wants to be expressed. And so there may be some internal conflict about, again, of that energy of that's too much or that's taboo. And so learning your Black Moon Lilith placement can be a powerful awareness for healing a money block as you give yourself permission to lean into this energy. Okay. Yes, you guys know your Black Moon Lilith placements. Do you know what the sign of it is? Did you have some aha moments with it? So mine is in Leo. And when I realized that really like lit up a lot for me to understand because I'd say Leo and that center of attention, spotlight energy was something I've always desired. Even like as a kid, I, would dream of being an actress or those kinds of things. But then there would be this internal conflict of, oh, well, that's silly to, or just judging. That's silly to want to be the star, or why should you want that? Anyways, you get what I'm saying. And leaning into that Leo energy can be really powerful for me and be able to express myself, come into alignment to allow that part of me to be seen. Okay, so that is what I have for you today. Again, some food for thought. Would love to hear. Feel free to, if you're watching the replay or anything, to comment what your takeaways are. If you have any specific questions as well. And if you want to go deeper, we can do a full reading. Okay. All right. Do you guys have any questions? Thank you so much for coming. Hope this was helpful.